Imagine the Matrix, right?
Okay.
But instead of picking the red pill or the blue pill, we're choosing
Oh, I like that.
how we experience reality itself.
Ooh,
It's about this idea of romanticizing your life.
I love that.
But it's not just about like candlelit dinners and roses.
Right, it's deeper than that, right?
It's so much deeper.
Yeah, it's like tapping into, I think, a very primal need.
Okay.
The hunger for meaning, beauty. It's
Yeah.
woven into like our DNA.
I love it.
It's part of who we are as humans.
Okay, so it's deeper than just feeling good, right?
Way deeper.
Yeah.
It's like, you know how a sunset can make you just like catch your breath?
Absolutely.
Or a perfectly arranged meal can spark joy.
Oh, yeah.
That's not random. That's your brain on beauty.
So there's actual science behind it.
Absolutely.
What?
When you experience beauty, your brain releases a flood of these feel-good chemicals. Dopamine?
Wow.
It's like the same reward pathway that lights up when you achieve a goal or fall in love. But here's the kicker.
Oh, you can consciously trigger that response.
Wait, so I can like hack my own happiness?
Kind
Tell
of.
me more.
So imagine, okay, your brain.
Yeah.
It's this incredible machine. It's constantly taking in information.
Right.
And it's making sense of the world. But
Yeah.
it's also wired to seek pleasure, crave those dopamine hits.
Yeah.
So romanticizing your life is about becoming the programmer,
Oh, interesting.
choosing what inputs
Yeah.
create those feel-good output,
I love that.
right?
So I'm being intentional with what I'm consuming.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's intentional,
Okay.
not manipulative.
Okay.
Because think about it. We are bombarded with negativity,
Totally.
with the mundane,
the blah.
with just like the everyday.
Yeah.
So why not consciously seek out the beauty that's already there?
Okay, that makes a lot of sense, but how do I find beauty
Yeah,
in the everyday?
that's the question.
Isn't that a little naive?
Well, let me ask you this.
Okay.
Have you ever been so engrossed in something?
Yeah. So present in the moment that time seemed to slow down.
Totally.
Maybe you were lost in a conversation or you were creating something.
Like when I'm writing, I can lose hours.
Exactly. That's your brain on mindfulness.
Whoa.
And guess what? That's also linked to those same reward pathways.
Really?
When you truly engage with the present moment, your brain creates these richer, more vivid memories.
Ah.
You're essentially stretching time, adding depth and texture to your experience.
It's like I'm creating more memories
You are.
by being mindful.
Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of blowing my mind.
It's powerful stuff.
But what about those of us who aren't naturally mindful?
Right.
Like, I can barely remember where I put my keys,
I hear you.
let alone be fully present.
And that's where, like, micro adventures come in.
Micro adventures.
It's not about meditating for hours, right?
Right.
It's about finding tiny sparks of wonder throughout your day.
Okay.
It's like taking a different route to work, trying a new coffee shop, really listening to the lyrics of a song
Interesting.
instead of just letting it play in the background.
So it's like injecting little bits of conscious choice
Yes.
into my routine.
Precisely.
Okay, I love that.
And here's where it gets really fascinating.
Okay.
Your clothes can play a role.
My clothes.
Have you ever heard of enclothed cognition?
Okay, no, break that down for me.
It's basically the idea that what you wear can influence your mood
Interesting.
and even your cognitive processes.
Wait, so that feeling I get when I put on my like power outfit,
Yes.
that's not just in my head.
It's backed by science.
There's like actual science behind it.
Yeah, your clothes are more than just fabric.
Wow.
They're a way to express yourself.
Okay,
Step into a different version of you.
I like that.
And when you feel good in what you're wearing, it can have a ripple effect on your entire day.
Totally.
Suddenly, you're standing a little taller,
Yeah.
speaking with more confidence,
I feel that.
taking on challenges with this newfound swagger.
Okay, this is all starting to make sense to me.
Good.
But how do we bridge the gap between something like rocking a power outfit to something more introspective, like letter writing?
Interesting.
Because like I've always found that romantic,
Yes.
but I don't actually do it.
Right, letter writing.
Yeah.
It's practically a lost art
Right.
in this digital age, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
But there's a powerful magic in the slowness, in the physical act of putting pen to paper.
It just feels more intentional
Exactly.
than an email or a text.
And that intentionality is key to romanticizing your life.
Okay.
When you write a letter, you're not just conveying information.
Right.
You're crafting an experience. You're slowing down your thoughts, choosing your words carefully,
Wow.
infusing each stroke of the pen with meaning.
That is beautiful.
It's a form of mindfulness, of connecting with yourself and the person you're writing to on a deeper level.
Okay, I'm sold.
Good.
I'm adding letter writing to my to-do list. But I have to admit, all this talk about intentionality and slowing down makes me think about how much of life feels outside my control.
Right, and that's where the power of visualization comes in.
Huh?
You know how athletes use visualization to improve performance?
Oh, yeah.
Mentally rehearse success?
Yeah.
You can apply that same principle to your everyday life.
Wait, are you saying I can manifest my dream life just by, thinking about it?
Not quite. It's not about magical thinking.
Okay.
It's about actively shaping your reality.
Okay.
It's about deciding what kind of energy you want to bring to your interactions.
Yeah.
What kind of story you want to tell with your life.
Interesting.
It's about consciously creating the masterpiece that is your experience.
So, if I want to be more confident,
Yes.
I can visualize myself handling those situations with confidence.
Exactly. You're essentially priming your brain,
Wow.
creating neural pathways for those desired outcomes.
Okay.
And the more you practice, the more natural those behaviors become.
So it's like building a muscle,
Yes.
but with my brain.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm starting to get this. But how does this all tie back to that Groundhog Day analogy
Oh, good question.
that you mentioned earlier?
So think about Phil Connors.
Yeah.
He's stuck in a time loop,
Right.
reliving the same day over and over again.
Yeah.
At first, he's miserable.
Yeah.
He indulges, he despairs, he even tries to end it all.
Right.
But then something shifts.
Oh.
He starts using that repetition to his advantage.
Okay.
To learn new skills.
Wow.
To connect with people, to become a better version of himself.
So instead of being trapped by repetition,
Yes.
he uses it as a tool for growth.
Precisely. And that's the key to romanticizing your life.
Ooh, I like that.
It's about recognizing that even the most mundane moments
Yeah.
hold the potential for beauty, connection, and growth.
Okay.
It's about choosing to see the extraordinary in the ordinary.
So powerful.
Right.
This is all so fascinating.
Good.
But where do we go from here?
Right. So how do we apply these concepts to our actual lives?
Yeah.
That's where we'll pick up in the next part of our deep dive.
Okay, great.
But for now, I want you to just sit with this question.
Okay.
What if you treated your life as a grand adventure, a story waiting to be written?
Ooh.
What kind of hero would you be?
Ooh, I like that.
What kind of world would you create?
Love it. All right, so we've talked about how romanticizing our lives isn't about, living in a fantasy world.
Right.
It's about actively shaping our reality. But how do we do that when, the world feels like it's spinning faster and faster?
It's the paradox, isn't it? We're surrounded by more information, more options, more stuff than ever before.
Right.
But we often feel less connected,
Yeah.
less grounded.
Less alive.
Less alive, yeah.
So how do we break free from that cycle?
I think by tapping into something ancient, something primal, the rhythm of the seasons.
The rhythm of the season.
Think about it. For centuries, humans lived in tune with nature's cycles.
Right.
Spring was a time for renewal, summer for abundance, autumn for harvest,
Yeah.
winter for rest and reflection.
Okay.
We've kind of lost touch with that wisdom, but it's still there,
Yeah, it is.
waiting to be rediscovered.
Okay, I've always felt drawn to the changing seasons,
Yeah.
but I never really thought about it in terms of romanticizing my life. What would that even look like?
It could be as simple as aligning your activities with the natural world.
Okay.
So in spring, embrace the energy of new beginnings.
Okay.
Start a new project, declutter your space, plant a garden.
Love it.
As summer unfolds, savor the warmth and abundance.
Okay.
Host outdoor gatherings, take long walks in nature,
Yeah.
indulge in seasonal fruits and vegetables.
Those summer berries.
Yes. When autumn arrives, embrace the cozy vibes.
Okay.
Curl up with a good book. Experiment with warm spices in your cooking. Reflect on your accomplishments from the past year.
Love that.
And then as winter descends, allow yourself to rest and recharge.
Okay.
Spend time with loved ones. Engage in creative pursuits. Dream up new possibilities for the future.
It's like creating a soundtrack for your life,
Yes.
but instead of music, it's the seasons,
Exactly.
guiding the tempo and mood.
I love that analogy.
And speaking of soundtracks,
Yes.
let's not forget the power of music itself.
Yes. Music is so powerful.
Certain songs can transport me back to a specific time and place,
Absolutely.
evoke powerful emotions,
Yeah.
even change my physiological state.
That's incredible.
There's definitely a science to that.
There is.
I know I have certain songs that instantly put me in a good mood and others that like make me want to curl up in a ball and cry.
That's because music taps into deep emotional centers in the brain.
Wow.
And just like you can curate your physical environment to create a space that inspires you, you can create a personalized soundscape that supports your emotional well-being.
So like having a playlist for different moods.
Yeah, it's more than just playlists. It's about being mindful of the sounds you surround yourself with.
Right.
Notice how certain sounds make you feel. Do they energize you, relax you, make you feel nostalgic?
Okay.
And then consciously choose sounds that support your desired emotional state.
So I'm choosing the sounds based on how I want to feel.
Exactly.
I like that.
It's powerful stuff.
Okay, so we're talking about curating our visual environment, our soundscape.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we can consciously shape to enhance our experience?
I think one of the most powerful yet often overlooked aspects of romanticizing your life is the art of savoring.
The art of savoring.
In a world that's constantly pushing for instant gratification, we've lost touch with the beauty of anticipation, of delayed gratification.
Netflix binge, anyone guilty as charged.
But think about a time when you really savored something. Maybe it was a special meal or a long-awaited vacation.
Yeah.
Didn't the anticipation leading up to it almost heighten the pleasure?
Totally.
And didn't the experience itself feel richer, more meaningful, because you were truly present in each moment?
It's like when you're a kid and you can't wait for Christmas morning.
Yes.
The anticipation is almost as good as the actual presence.
Exactly. And that's the magic of savoring.
Okay.
It's about slowing down, being present in the moment, truly appreciating the experience.
Yeah.
Whether it's a gourmet meal or a simple cup of coffee.
But how do we do that?
Yeah.
In a world where we're constantly bombarded with distractions?
It starts with intention.
Okay.
Make a conscious decision to savor the experience.
Okay.
Put away your phone, eliminate distractions, and engage all your senses.
Okay.
Notice the colors, the textures, the aromas, the sounds.
Wow.
And most importantly, be present in the moment.
So it's about turning off autopilot.
Yes.
And really tuning into the experience.
Precisely. And here's a little secret. The more you practice the art of savoring, the more you'll start to notice the beauty and abundance that already exists in your life. You'll find yourself appreciating the simple things, feeling grateful for the little moments, experiencing a deeper sense of joy and contentment.
This is all starting to feel really empowering.
Good.
It's like we're not just passive recipients of experience, but active creators of our own reality.
And that's the key, isn't it?
Yeah.
We have more agency than we realize.
Okay.
We get to choose how we experience the world, how we interpret events, how we respond to challenges.
Wow.
And when we embrace that power, we open ourselves up to a whole new level of possibility.
Okay, so if we're the directors of our own lives, how do we create a set that supports our vision?
That's a great question.
Because, like, let's be real, our environment, whether it's our home, our workspace, or even the city we live in, can have a huge impact on our mood and well-being.
Absolutely. Our surroundings are an extension of ourselves. It's a reflection of our inner world.
I like that.
And just like you can curate your soundscape and your wardrobe to enhance your experience, you can curate your physical space to create a sanctuary that supports your vision for your life.
So it's more than just decorating.
It is.
It's about creating a space that aligns with my values and aspirations.
Exactly. Ask yourself, what kind of energy do I want to cultivate in this space?
Okay.
Do I want it to be calming and serene, energizing and inspiring, cozy and inviting?
Okay.
And then choose colors, textures, furniture, and objects that evoke those feelings.
Okay, this is making me think about my own apartment.
Yeah.
It's functional, but it definitely doesn't scream intentional living.
Right.
Where do I even start?
Start by decluttering.
Okay.
Get rid of anything that doesn't serve you, that doesn't spark joy, that doesn't align with the vision you have for your life.
Okay.
And then start adding elements that do.
Okay.
Plants, artwork, candles, cozy textiles.
Okay, I can do that.
Pay attention to the lighting, the scents, the overall flow of energy.
Okay, what about those of us who don't have a lot of control over our space?
Yeah.
Maybe you're renting a tiny apartment.
Right.
Or you're stuck in a drab office cubicle.
Even small changes can make a big difference.
Okay.
Bring in a plant, a favorite photo, a scented candle.
Okay.
Rearrange your furniture to create a more inviting and functional flow.
So it's about finding those little pockets of beauty and intention.
Yes.
Even in the most unexpected places.
Exactly. And don't underestimate the power of ritual.
Ritual.
Creating small, meaningful rituals throughout your day can add a sense of structure and purpose, even in the midst of chaos.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's like we're reclaiming our time and our attention, injecting intentionality into every moment.
Yes.
But how do we choose which rituals to incorporate?
Think about the things that bring you joy.
Okay.
That make you feel grounded and connected.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a morning meditation practice, a cup of tea enjoyed in silence, a walk in nature after work.
It's about finding those moments of pause, those little pockets of peace in the midst of the everyday hustle.
Exactly. And speaking of hustle, I think one of the biggest obstacles to romanticizing our lives is this pervasive feeling of not being enough.
Oh, yeah.
We're constantly bombarded with messages that tell us we need to be more productive, more successful, more everything.
It's like we're all on this hamster wheel of achievement.
Yes.
Constantly striving for something that always seems just out of reach.
And that's where the importance of celebrating comes in.
Celebrating.
We often wait for these big milestones to acknowledge our accomplishments, but what about all the little wins along the way?
It's like we've forgotten how to celebrate the journey.
Exactly. And that's a shame because celebrating even the small things activates the reward system in our brains. It boosts our mood, increases our motivation, makes us more resilient in the face of challenges.
Okay, so how do we start celebrating more?
Yeah.
Do I need to, break out the confetti cannons for every task I check off my to-do list?
It doesn't have to be extravagant.
Okay.
It could be as simple as taking a moment to acknowledge your accomplishment,
Or
giving yourself a pat on the back, or treating yourself to something you enjoy.
maybe a little dance break.
Exactly. The key is to find ways to acknowledge and appreciate your efforts, no matter how big or small.
I love that.
Good.
This is all so inspiring.
Yeah.
But I can't help but think about the elephant in the room. Social media.
Yes.
It's like a breeding ground for comparison.
Absolutely.
For feeling like we're not enough.
It's a challenge.
How do we romanticize our lives when we're constantly bombarded with images of other people's seemingly perfect lives?
It's a brilliant question.
Yeah.
And it's something we all struggle with in the digital age.
Totally.
But here's the thing. Romanticizing your life isn't about keeping up with the Joneses. It's about creating a life that feels authentic and meaningful to you.
So it's about tuning out the noise.
Yes.
And focusing on my own unique journey.
Precisely. Remember, social media is a highlight reel.
Right.
It's carefully curated to present the best, most glamorous versions of ourselves.
Right.
Don't compare your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel.
That's such a good point.
Yeah.
It's like comparing apples to oranges.
Exactly. Instead of getting caught up in the comparison trap, use social media as a source of inspiration.
Okay.
Follow accounts that make you feel good, that align with your values, that inspire you to live a more beautiful and intentional life.
So curate my digital environment, just like I curate my physical space.
Precisely. And remember, the most important thing is to stay true to yourself.
Okay.
Don't try to be someone you're not. Embrace your quirks.
Yeah.
Celebrate your imperfections.
Yeah.
Live a life that feels authentically yours.
Okay, so we've talked about tapping into the rhythm of the seasons, creating a personalized soundscape,
Yes.
mastering the art of savoring,
Yes.
curating our environment, celebrating our wins,
Yes.
and navigating the perils of social media.
Right.
Is there anything else we need to know about romanticizing our lives?
I think one of the most important things to remember is that it's not about achieving perfection.
Okay.
It's about making small, intentional choices each day that move you closer to the life you desire.
So it's a journey, not a destination.
Exactly. And like any good journey,
Yeah.
there will be ups and downs, detours, and unexpected challenges.
Totally.
But that's all part of the adventure.
It's about embracing the messiness,
Yes.
the imperfections, the whole damn thing.
Exactly. And remember, you're not alone on this journey.
Oh, I love that.
We're all in this together.
Well said. So as we wrap up this part of our deep dive, what's one thing you want our listeners to take away from this conversation?
Remember, you have the power to create a life that feels magical, meaningful, and truly your own.
Yeah.
It starts with small choices, intentional actions, and a willingness to embrace the beauty and wonder that already exists in every moment.
Beautifully said. And for those of you listening,
yes,
what's one small step you can take today to start romanticizing your life? We've covered so much in this deep dive.
We have.
Like, we've explored how to hack our brains with beauty, tap into the rhythm of the seasons,
yes,
create those personalized soundscapes,
right,
and so much more.
It's been a journey.
It really has.
Yeah.
But it all comes down to this. How do we make this a sustainable practice? Right. Like, how do we weave this idea of romanticizing our lives into, like, the fabric of our everyday existence?
That is the million-dollar question, isn't it? And I think the answer is both simple and complex.
Okay.
It starts with awareness.
Awareness.
Notice the moments throughout your day that spark joy, that make you feel alive, even if it's just for a fleeting second. Maybe it's the way the sunlight filters through the leaves on your morning walk, or the smell of freshly baked bread wafting from a bakery.
Love that.
Pay attention to those moments.
Okay.
Savor them. Let them remind you that beauty and magic exist, even in those mundane aspects of life.
It's like training our brains to see the world through a different lens.
Exactly. And as you start to notice those moments more and more, you'll find that they begin to multiply. It's like a positive feedback loop.
Oh, wow.
The more you focus on the good, the more good you'll find.
I love that.
And that's the key to creating a life that feels truly magical.
Okay, I'm feeling inspired, but I'm also going to be honest.
Yeah.
There are days when it feels like the world is, like, conspiring against me.
I hear you.
Like, the to-do list is overflowing.
Right.
The traffic is a nightmare. And I just want to, like, crawl back in bed and pull the covers over my head.
I've been there.
So how do we romanticize our lives when reality bites?
That's when it becomes even more crucial.
Okay.
To cultivate those practices that bring us joy, nourish our souls, remind us of our own inner strength.
Okay, I like that.
It's like building an arsenal of self-care tools.
Interesting.
A toolbox filled with strategies that help you navigate those inevitable storms of life.
So, like, a break glass in case of emergency kit for the soul.
Exactly.
I love that.
And just like you would stock a first aid kit with bandages, antiseptic, and pain relievers, you want to stock your soul care kit with practices that soothe, uplift, and empower you.
Okay, so what would that look like?
It could be a go-to meditation app, a playlist of mood-boosting songs, a collection of inspiring quotes, a list of activities that bring you joy, a simple ritual like lighting a candle and taking a few deep breaths.
It's like creating a personalized roadmap.
Yes.
For navigating those moments when life throws us a curveball.
Precisely. And the beauty of it is you get to choose what goes in your toolbox. What works for one person might not work for another.
Totally.
It's about finding the practices that resonate with you, that feel authentic and nourishing.
This is all starting to feel really practical and empowering. It's like we're taking back control, choosing to create a life that feels aligned with our values and aspirations.
Exactly.
But what about those of us who are, like, struggling with deeper issues? Maybe it's a chronic illness, a difficult relationship, or a job that's, like, sucking the life out of us. Can we still romanticize our lives when we're facing real hardship?
That's a powerful question, and one that deserves to be honored. It's important to acknowledge that romanticizing your life isn't about denying pain or pretending that everything is perfect. It's about choosing to focus on the good, even in the midst of difficulty. It's about finding those glimmers of hope and beauty that remind us that even in the darkest of times, there's always something to be grateful for.
So it's not about ignoring the challenges. It's about finding a way to, like, hold both the light and the dark.
Exactly. It's about embracing the full spectrum of human experience with all its complexities and contradictions. And it's about recognizing that even in the midst of hardship, we still have the power to choose how we respond, how we interpret events, and how we move forward.
That's a powerful reminder.
It is.
So for our listeners who are struggling, who are feeling overwhelmed by the challenges they're facing, what advice would you offer?
First and foremost, be kind to yourself. Acknowledge your pain. Allow yourself to grieve. Don't judge yourself for struggling. Reach out for support. Talk to a trusted friend, family member, therapist, or spiritual advisor. And remember that you are not alone. We all go through difficult times.
We do.
And it's okay to ask for help.
This has been such a rich and insightful conversation.
It has.
As we wrap up our deep dive into romanticizing our lives, what's one final thought you want to leave our listeners with?
Remember that your life is a masterpiece in progress.
Oh, I love that.
Embrace the journey, celebrate the wins, learn from the challenges, and never stop seeking out the beauty and wonder that exists in every moment.
Okay.
You are worthy of a life that feels magical, meaningful, and truly your own.
Beautifully said. And for our listeners, here are a few practical tips to help you start romanticizing your life today.
Wonderful.
Create a moment of wonder ritual. Spend 5 minutes each day simply observing something beautiful in your surroundings.
I love it.
Add a touch of beauty to your workspace or home. Bring in a plant, light a candle, display a favorite photo or piece of art.
Yes.
Write yourself a letter. Pour your heart out on paper, reflecting on your journey, your dreams, and your aspirations.
Beautiful.
Start a micro-adventure jar. Write down a bunch of small, fun activities and challenge yourself to try one new thing each week.
I love that.
Curate your social media feed. Follow accounts that inspire you, make you feel good, and align with your values.
Yes.
Practice the art of savoring. Slow down, engage your senses, and truly appreciate the simple pleasures in life.
Wonderful.
Celebrate your wins, both big and small. Acknowledge your efforts. Give yourself a pat on the back and treat yourself to something you enjoy.
Yes.
Create a soul care toolbox. Stock it with practices that soothe, uplift, and empower you.
Love it.
Remember that you are not alone. Reach out for support when you need it, and know that you are worthy of love, happiness, and a life that feels truly magical.
Beautiful.
And remember, every day deserves a little romance. Until next time, keep seeking out the beauty, keep living intentionally, and keep romanticizing your life.